Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. If you're new around here, subscribe, drop the video a like and get involved in the comment section down below, and also share your teams on social media off our website as well. So we've done it. We have hit 9,000 subscribers. Well done to you all. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the content. And now we just got to get to that magic number 10, which has been my ultimate aim. So thank you everybody who's been enjoying our content. Our match preview for Brentford was sort of at the back end of the show that we did on Friday. We went live. It was really good. Love going live, chatting to you guys. We probably need to go live a little bit more as well. This is our predicted lineup show for Brentford. A game I am now thoroughly looking forward to going to. I think it's going to be a very difficult game because I've watched a bit of Brentford this season. They're playing really well, especially at home. They're getting the ball to Tony. They're playing with width. It's quite direct at times, but they pump the ball to Mbeumo. Set pieces, they're really aggressive from. They're really good at challenging from set pieces. I just think they're a good side. They're a really good side. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They've got some really good wins at home. They've got a good performance behind them against Chelsea. It was the 0-0. So some of their strengths: attacking set pieces, creating chances through individual skill, coming back from losing positions. They're good at aerial duels. Their weaknesses: keeping possession of the football, avoiding offside, defending against attack down the wings. Defending against skillful players, their style of play: long balls, attempt crosses often, play with width, and they are non-aggressive. So those are some of the Brentford's strengths and weaknesses. But for me, it's all about Aston Villa. It's all about what we do. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be an absolute danks footballing masterclass, because I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be very tight from Villa, very organised, very compact, but with a view to have that explosiveness when it gets into the final third. I think we've still got some good players at this football club who I still back, but I think that, like I keep saying, there needs to be a reflectiveness from the players to look in the mirror and realise that what has just happened isn't simply good enough. The performance against Fulham was just disgusting. It was horrible. Watching that was just awful. So I want to see from these players now nothing ever that mirrors that performance, because it just wasn't good enough. And putting that level of performance, you should be ashamed of yourselves, and you don't deserve to put the shirt on if you play like that week in, week out. So I want to see nothing like that, but I want to see a change. I want to see a change in system. I think that's got to be a given. And I think that in itself gives me a little bit of confidence. So let's head over to utvpodcast.co.uk, lineup selector, and I'm going to go with a narrow 4-3-3. I'm going to try and get my fullbacks to go forward. I want McGinn and Ramsey to tuck in. I'm only joking. I don't want to see none of that ever again. That Christmas tree, that narrow formation. I do not want to see Villa ever again playing so narrow. Why was it so narrow? Oh, my days. Right, this is what I'm going with. Like I've said, it's not going to be a tactical masterclass. He hasn't got time to do that. He's not going to want to embarrass himself. So he's going to want to keep it tight and organised. So I think this formation should set us up really well. I think this formation allows us to have a foothold in the game. I think it allows us to control possession, which is what I think we should be still being able to do against Brentford. Brentford haven't won away from home all season. What could go possibly wrong? So that gives me confidence as well. So I'm going to go with 4-2-3-1. So Martinez in goal. It looks like Luka Dean was going to be back at the back end of this month, wasn't he? So let's go with Ashley Young. Tyrone Mings is going to be at the back. I'm not sure whether the new manager, when he comes in, will make him captain. Partnering Tyrone Mings for now is going to be Ezra Konsa. I think for me, when Carlos is back, this defence needs a bit of a shake-up as well. I just think I'm not confident with this Mings Konsa thing anymore. I'm just not confident with it. I'd like to see Chambers in there. I really would like to see Callum Chambers, but I don't think he's going to put Chambers in there. But I would like to see Callum Chambers. Actually, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put what I'd do, not what I think he's going to do. So I'm going to go Callum Chambers. My two double pivots, I'm going to go Dougie Luiz. So glad that was rescinded and gave back. I mean, what I think about that VAR thing is that on that clip that you saw when you were watching it, and it was from a distance, wasn't it? It was from a bit of a distance, and you saw them go at each other. You saw them like bump each other, and then you saw Luiz go back again and bump him again. Now, from a distance, to me, it kind of looked like he did go in with the head, right? It kind of looked like he did. But from that clip that I saw when I was watching it, you couldn't tell. Now, when VAR was checking it and the ref went to the screen, he was watching the same image that we were watching from a distance. And you can't tell. You couldn't tell that he'd got him with the head. So VAR have had a look at it and have said there might be violent conduct. You've made a mistake. Go and have a look at it. But they're not watching any. Are they watching any different images to what we're watching? Because if they were, they would know that weren't a red card. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So look, Douglas Luiz is back then. Really happy about that. So we got Luiz back. I'll go Dendoncker double pivot. I think the Dendoncker double pivot allows us to have a little bit more like a calmness and a steadiness, which is, I think, what we need. I think that's what we need. I'm going to go with out wide on the left. I'm going to go with Jacob Ramsey because I think against Man City it worked really well. I think it would allow us to do this a little bit if we need to. So out of possession, we can be more like that, which is completely solid. The shape looks better when we're not in possession. We can press, lead from the front, press. When one goes, we go. Yeah, I think that would work really well because I've just seen us being too isolated. I've seen us leaving the fullbacks isolated too much, having runners running at them, being dragged out of position too much. So I think that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Ramsey. I'm going with, drum roll please, Villa fans, drum roll please. I'm going with McGinn. Now, he's massively out of form, like a lot of them. Like a lot of these players are massively out of form. But you can't have two different types of McGinn. You can't have him playing crap for Villa, going out onto the international stage, tearing it up, coming back to Villa and being rubbish. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the psychology behind it. He's got to play further forward because that's how you get the best out of John McGinn. So I'm going John McGinn behind the striker. And I want him there. I want him at the edge of that box, right? That's where I want to see him. Yes, come and help out a little bit if needs be. This can sometimes maybe look like that at times if it needs to. But let the shape of the team dictate what we need to be doing. So that's what I'm going with. Waifu here. I'm going to go with Buendia. Now, I'm sure Villa fans, I'm sure Norwich played Emi Buendia out on the right. I'm sure he was out on the right for Norwich. Again, this is where I want to see him play. He can play as a number 10, but I feel like he gets lost. And I feel like he needs to know what his job role is. So that is where I'm putting Emi Buendia. What do we do here? What do we do? I'd like to see Archer, but this cameo of a couple of minutes here and there, I don't think he can play a full game. I'm torn. Right, there we go. That is what we are going with, Villa fans. So 4-2-3-1. The one thing that I would say about Danks is he is an attacking coach. Now, I know we've not been great going forward, but I would imagine that these players, especially the forward players, have got a good connection with Danks. And I'm sure that they really like Danks as a person because they work with him day in, day out. So I feel like he could probably get the best out of the forward line. I feel like they would play for him and be on board with it. So 4-2-3-1 is what I've gone with, Villa fans. It's a little bit different to what we've been going with. You could easily just go with Watkins or Watkins here, Bailey here, Coutinho here, Buendia here. But I just feel like it doesn't work for us, the number 10s. So this is what I've gone with. And I'll be interested to see whether it looks anything like this on Sunday. It probably won't. It'll probably be 4-3-3, and it'll probably be the same team that played against Fulham. But this is what I'd like to go with. Villa fans, cheers for the support. Cheers for the love of the channel. And we'll be back on Sunday for our match reaction against Brentford. And then I'm sure we'll have content on our new manager. When the managers sort of get whittled down, I'll do some episodes on them as well. So I hope you've enjoyed my predicted lineup. This is what I'd go with. I'd love to see what you go with on social media as well and share your teams. But for now, up the Villa, and I'll speak to you all soon.